Vlad the Invader Putin's war toys ready to unleash hell on Ukraine robot tanks, flying Kalashnikovs. President Vladimir Putin is all over the news. Why? Around 127,000 Russian troops and conventional heavy weaponry have gathered around Ukraine's northern and eastern borders. Boris Johnson warned Putin that any invasion might be followed by a guerrilla battle and the worst slaughter since 1945. Hello tech nerds! Welcome back to AI Future Life, a versatile YouTube channel where we bring the latest updates on stock, science, finance, artificial intelligence, and many more important things. Before we proceed to our topic, subscribe to our channel and keep following us by clicking the bell icon. In this video, we'll go over some important points about Putin's battle with Ukraine that you should be aware of. What is Putin planning to do? What kind of war toys is he going to use to invade Ukraine? Keep watching to find out. Vladimir Putin is preparing to send his favorite war toys, including robot tanks, kamikaze stealth drones, and paratrooper dogs, into battle in Ukraine. His deadly high-tech armament could be used with elite paratroopers and artillery in a fast advance on Kyiv. Around 127,000 Russian troops and conventional heavy weaponry have gathered around Ukraine's northern and eastern borders. Boris Johnson warned Kremlin strongman Vladimir Putin that any invasion would be followed by a guerrilla battle, and the worst slaughter since 1945. A synopsis of what he said: "No one would benefit from such a disaster. If President Putin chooses the route of death and devastation, he must understand that it will be both tragic and pointless." It came as Kyiv claimed that Russian troops had already entered Ukraine, trying a failed false flag attempt to justify war. Fears of an invasion any day already have wiped £55 billion off the value of the FTSE 100 and pushed up petrol costs. Britain has given Ukraine a boost by sending in 2,000 NLAW shoulder-launched weapons to destroy Russian tanks. The initial agreements. Russia and Ukraine agreed to establish humanitarian routes for civilians fleeing the escalating combat. According to an advisor to Zelensky, the agreement was the only real advance from the second round of discussions between Moscow and Kyiv. It was unclear how they would operate. A Russian negotiator, nationalist legislator Leonid Slutsky, verified the idea and stated it would be expected soon. At the start of the discussions in Belarus, negotiators clasped hands across a table, and the Ukrainians dressed in military khakis and the Russians in more formal business suits. According to Zelensky, hundreds of Russian soldiers have been murdered since Putin stunned the world by invading Ukraine, ostensibly to demilitarize and denazify a Western-leaning menace on his borders. The current situation. As Joe Biden proposes selling 50,000 troops to the region, NATO partners have also alerted aeroplanes and planes. However, entrenched defenders, comprising thousands of volunteers, face a withering barrage from a bizarre variety of space tech weapons devised by Putin's scientists. The confrontation could mark the first time remote-controlled tanks have been used in combat, and the first time unmanned drones have engaged in aerial dogfights. The following Russian weapons are now within range of Ukraine's flying borders. Flying Kalashnikov. X-winged Lancet kamikaze drones, dubbed the Flying Kalashnikov, might be used to attack Ukraine's unmanned fighters. Scores of space-age craft have been programmed to loiter above the battlefield to eliminate the enemy's unmanned attack and surveillance craft. Russian officials further warned that the dangerous Sentinels could attack British or US naval vessels in the sky. Last June, Russia began firing on the Royal Navy destroyer HMS Defender as it steamed off the coast of Crimea. With the debut of the Flying Kalashnikov, which is also thought to have been battle-tested in Syria, the first-ever drone dogfights in modern warfare are set to erupt over Donbas. However, Russia's Lancet weaponry is claimed to fly twice as quickly as Ukraine's Bayraktar drones, built in Turkey. Dog troopers. Army or paratrooper dogs could be flown into battle with their handlers in especially designed tandem chutes. According to a training video, the hounds, who were wearing body armor and heavy glasses, were dropped from 13,000 feet by Mi-8 helicopters with Russian National Guard Special Forces. The highly trained animals were prepared to join combat missions after their paws hit the floor in the world-first tests. They could be utilized for tight quarter security and combat rescue missions in Ukraine. With a visit to the Ivanovo facility, east of Moscow, where the prototype K9 chutes were constructed last year, Putin handed the Hounds of War technology his seal of approval. Kalashnikov self-firing gun. Russia is on the verge of completing a revolutionary new age Kalashnikov weapon with its brain, capable of detecting and killing adversaries. At a recent Big Arms Expo, Vladimir Putin's defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, was shown a prototype. According to the weapon's creators, the gun will identify the target and eliminate the need for the shooter to pull the trigger. "We have already constructed several aspects of the system," said chief designer Sergei Urzumtsev. Artificial intelligence has already made it possible to virtually completely automate the operations of target identification, targeting, and tracking, as well as the firing of a shot. Urzumtsev went on to say that future Russian soldiers will simply have to give permission to their weaponry to find and kill their foes. According to a Russian technical paper, the new weapon not only aids soldiers in aiming, but it also eliminates the need for humans to contact the gun and pull the trigger physically. Robot tanks. Scientists sponsored by the Kremlin claim to have developed the world's first self-driving robot tanks, which may be deployed to clear out Ukrainian trenches. According to Russian defense sources, the first Uran-9 strike robots is already operating after combat tests in Syria. They are anticipated to be able to function autonomously and in swarms, and be controlled remotely utilizing AI. Serial production of battle robots has begun, Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu claimed. We already have not just test prototypes, but robots capable of fighting on their own that may be presented in sci-fi movies. Moscow's weapons of tomorrow, according to Shoigu, are driverless micro-tanks equipped with sensors, rockets, a heavy machine gun, and a flamethrower. Ideal weapon for strikes on Ukrainian fortifications stretching 250 kilometers through Russia-backed separatists' eastern Donbas region. Flying swimming tank. A fantastic lightweight tank that can be parachuted into combat on land or the water is also believed to be ready for action. The Sprut SDM-1 was seen being dropped on unique numerous parachute canopies before actually powering into the Black Sea and blasting targets from the sea in a video of trials. The adaptable 18-ton combat vehicle can hit targets 3 miles distant while being maneuvered at sea and boasts the firepower of a Russian T-90 tank. It displayed strong navigability during assessments in the Black Sea, as well as its ability to be hauled by huge landing ships, Rostec stated. It passed shoot-to-kill tests where its 125mm 2S-25 self-propelled anti-tank gun fired salvos while being tossed around by 4-feet-high waves. Hunter stealth drone. The S-70 Okhotnik, or Hunter, is the first of Russia's lethal stealth fighter combat drones to be deployed at an undisclosed Siberian defense complex. The Hunter's flat, tailless airframe is meant to keep it hidden from radar while flying from Moscow to the territory of London and back in a single mission. Future Russian Su-57 aircrews will be accompanied into battle by up to 4 pilotless drones. Hunters have missiles as well as electro-optical surveillance radar and reconnaissance equipment. After a prototype was presented in 2019, hundreds are now in operation, operated initially by an operator and later from the cockpit of an escorting fighter jet. The drone's rollout symbolizes the end of its assembling as a whole and its outfitting with all the essential onboard equipment, Russian Deputy Defense Minister Alexei Kirvoruchko stated. Vladimir Putin oversaw the establishment of Russia's drone air force, claiming lately that 2,000 Russian warplanes now operate without the use of humans. According to a Kremlin account of their 90-minute call, Putin assured French President Emmanuel Macron that Moscow intends to continue the uncompromising struggle against militants of nationalist armed groups. Following the call, a senior Macron aide stated that the French president feared the worst is yet to come in Ukraine. After NATO allies ruled out establishing a no-fly zone for fear of sparking a confrontation with nuclear-armed Russia, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called on the West to increase its military support. Putin, on the other hand, has ruthless plans to abandon Ukraine. The ongoing crisis is at a delicate point at the moment. Any major decision could prove to be devastating for Ukraine and will strain Russia's diplomatic relations with other countries. That's all for today's video, guys. We hope you got an idea about what Putin is planning his invasion and how these brutal weapons will cost the lives of many in Ukraine. Let's stay updated and spread this news because a massive war may break out any time now that things have escalated relatively quickly in the European Union. Give this video a like and share it so that people can learn about the ongoing crisis between the two countries. Subscribe to our channel to watch more of our videos. Share your thoughts about the crisis that is going on in the comments section below. Stay safe and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.